Hey everyone, welcome to my 22 to 24 week pregnancy update vlog. A lot has happened. Not all of it's been great. There's gonna be a big chunk of negative stuff in the first half of this video, but I will top it off with positives. I was in a car accident. I was in a bloody car accident. Before I go any further, I just want to say baby is okay. It still doesn't feel quite real. It's just like, as if I was in a friggin' car accident. I've gone my whole life with, I've been in like minor scrapes and tiny little bumps here and there. And then I end up in a big, terrible car accident when I'm 6 months pregnant. And considering what happened, we're all okay. So I am gonna talk about it with some lightheartedness because I have to. But it was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. The most terrifying was probably afterwards, actually, because obviously I'm pregnant, and so a lot was going through my head. My mother-in-law was driving. It was me and my mother-in-law and the baby in my belly in the car. It was dark out. It was a horrible bit of road that I have been down before and I don't like. It happened so quickly. I feel like I tried to say something just before it happened. I don't know what I tried to say. I don't remember. Before I knew it, I was in a washing machine and the car was rolling over really fast. There was glass hitting me. We landed the right way up. My leg was up like this on the dashboard of the car. Everything kind of went in slow motion and really fast at the same time. Time just like wasn't right for a while, which I know is normal when something like that happens. I'm sorry this is gonna be like upsetting for you to even hear, let alone me to say and relive, but the first thing I said, literally the first thing I said after it was just, oh no, oh no, oh no, and I was holding my belly. And then it was actually really comforting because I saw silhouettes of people who had pulled over their cars and they were running over to come and help and see if we're okay, and that was really nice just to know we weren't alone. Someone saw us, like, because I didn't know where we were going to land. I didn't know at the time fully where we were. I don't remember these people that well. I remember one lady because she stayed with us the longest. She had horses, and I remember she had these blankets she used for horses, and she was putting them around us to keep us warm. And I dialed for an ambulance, but I couldn't really talk and I didn't know where we were, so I just gave her my phone. She was amazing. I've tried to find her. I've reached out in local groups to try and just say thank you to all of these people. This group of people opened my door and I just sort of turned to them and cried at them and said my baby a lot. That's really harrowing now that I say it. And it was. I just thought, that's it. Really was determined I wouldn't get upset at all in this video. Okay, give me a sec. Ambulance came, everyone was great, everyone was lovely, everyone was really nice. I actually used my hypnobirthing. I've been learning about hypnobirthing for years before I was pregnant. And I decided, I was like, okay, it's happened. There's not loads that I can do right now, but I can control myself. I can try and control my body, my breathing, my blood. So I just like went into this zone. I wanted to just calm myself as much as possible and send her this like vibe or this message, like, don't be afraid, don't panic, just like try and stay still, little bean, and relax. And it worked really well. I managed to control my breath. I had a bit of glass in my hand and I was battered up and sore, and I knew I was going to be very sore the next day, but apart from that I was okay. And I just really wanted a midwife. I wanted someone with a machine to come and check if my daughter was okay. That's all I could think about, and they were very good at making all my checks go really fast so that we could get to that point. It took a while to find her little heartbeat because she was still relatively small at this point. I was 22 weeks when it happened, but eventually her heartbeat come into focus and Alex has stood there with me and I'm laying on the bed, and that was the first time we heard a heartbeat. I don't think I need to explain to you what it was like. It was just a very good moment. When I came home, I was on a bit of a high for a while. Everything looked so much more beautiful. I remember I was taking my makeup off, and brushing my teeth that night after I got home from the hospital, and I looked at my plants on the bathroom windowsill, and I was just like, I felt this awe. Everything that I'd been worrying about didn't feel so bad, everything looked more beautiful. Then about a day or two later, I went to bed and started crying, and I think everything I'd been sort of holding back and the fear and the worry, it all sort of came out, and I blurted it at Alex, and he sat there and listened to me, and I felt a lot better after that. My mother-in-law is still in a lot of pain. She already had issues with her back, so this has just made that a million times worse, bless her. I had a bunch of nasty bruises. The next day I felt like I'd been beaten up. Most of my body is fine now except my tailbone. I'm sat on a special cushion now. The pain in my tailbone is still pretty bad at the minute, but I'll take it. If that's all I've got to deal with, I'll take it gladly. I just really hope my mother-in-law feels better soon. I've still got more things in my list of like negatives that I was going to talk about. I feel like I should go straight on to positives from that. I know that was intense, wasn't it? That was a lot. Morning sickness came back. It shouldn't be called morning sickness at all, just sickness. I've also been very tired and spotty. I just permanently have spots around here now. You can't see them because I've done quite a good job with makeup today, but I've always got spots around my mouth area. Okay, negatives done. That's all the stuff I have to complain about. I'm actually 24 weeks today. I'm 6 months pregnant, and the kicks are still the most exciting thing for me. Alex can feel them on a much more regular basis. If they're particularly big ones, I'll grab his hand or even his head. We're trying to get her to kick him in the head. She hasn't done a proper good kick in the head yet, but I'm sure she will at some point. She just gave me a kick now. She can hear me talking about her. I've been singing her this lullaby. It's a lullaby from Xena. There's just a tiny bit at the beginning of an episode where she's breastfeeding Eve and she's singing this lullaby to her. And I always thought it was so beautiful. I've been singing that to her since about 2 weeks before the accident, I think. And I swear she, even from back then, was reacting with her movements. And while we were waiting to be seen by a doctor in the hospital, I was humming it to her and I was singing it to her. And now I'm almost certain that she reacts to it sometimes. When I can tell that she's awake and kicking about and I start humming it or singing it, sometimes I get some really powerful kicks, and sometimes it will be like in the middle of each line, almost as if she's like, yeah, I heard that, mum, and talking to her, and Alex has been talking to her. And like after the accident, I had a word with her at one point on my own. We're okay, and you don't have to be afraid. We're gonna take care of you on the outside just like we are on the inside. And I've been talking to her quite a lot, and especially with the movements building up and being able to feel her more, I just really, really feel like this connection to her. I am proper looking pregnant now. That's literally what I wrote on my list. Proper looking pregnant, yay. I'm so happy with my bump. My body looks so different. I love it. We went to a birth group recently at our local hospital and met a bunch of midwives, and that was so cool. That was one of my favourite bits, really, just listening to the midwives and getting to meet some of them. I just love midwives. They're like celebrities to me. I find it fascinating, and it's just such an incredible thing that they get to be a part of, and the good ones. I mean, I'm sure there are some bad ones out there, statistically speaking. Around here, I'm very lucky. They all seem really, really lovely and supportive and positive, and they want to empower the mums, and that's something I'm so thankful about, because there's a few things when I first went to meet them I was worried about, but they've done nothing but make me feel more confident in myself and my choices, so I'm really grateful for that. I am even more excited to give birth. I have days where I'm like, I just want to do it now. I know she's not finished cooking, so I do not want to do it now, but I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I've already, sorry, this is like goes in the negatives category technically, but it just came into my head. I've already a couple of times used this nipple balm that I was sent by a lovely company called Nessa. I'll link it down below. It's really lovely, really soft. I haven't breastfed yet, so I can't give you like a proper review of what it's like when you're breastfeeding, but I've already had some like itchiness and dryness. They don't look dry, but they just felt a bit like uncomfortable in whatever I was wearing. So I started using this nipple balm already, and it's really lovely and soft. So I will link that down below if you're interested. Not sponsored, they gifted me some items, but it's not sponsored at all. That's all I can think of to share, really. I feel like this is a very up and down video. Overall, actually we got some more really like bad news yesterday. But overall I'm still really happy, really excited. A lot has been thrown at us already just within the first few weeks of January 2020. I'm not telling you all of it. I feel like I'm being tested. Yeah, it's okay. I'm actually okay. I'm feeling good and feeling positive, and massive part of that is because of baby. She's just this beacon of hope and light. Maybe even the accident as well in a weird way. I just feel very able to cope with things that are bad at the minute, and it's nice. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.